triggering change, one heartbeat at a time. Battle for freedom. Okay, everyone, this is Watson Prunier from Battle for Freedom on Mojo 50 Radio. You'll be getting some video here in a second. Just be patient. But right now, listen, my website, www.battle4freedom.com. There, you're going to learn everything you need to about me, my craziness, my insanity, and everything that makes Mojo 50 broken early in the morning because of the fact that I don't always have my brain up to par and up to speak early in the morning. Listen, if it's early, you just finished listening to Rocky Stucci. If it's in the evening, you just finished in the afternoon. You just finished listening to Right Now with Jim Dawes. I think I need a little help here as I try and get everything up and running and get you, have you folks sitting here and trying to understand what's going on with Mojo 50 Radio. Maybe I need to start this off with some coffee and clear my throat. I don't know what's going on here. Hello, what's happening here, and who are you,
sir?
Something must be wrong with my program.
Hello, Watson. Hello. Sir. Hello. Hello, Watson. Hello.
Wait. Wait. So who is this and what's going on? Who are you?
And Mojo 50 Radio. I've been listening in for, however many years now, over your shoulder every morning, and I couldn't bear it anymore. I had to step in and just check in on you this morning, make sure my brother's doing okay.
Wait. So again, say who again is this? Because I heard a lot of feedback earlier, and there was some distortion in my line. So I'm trying to make sense as what's going on here. Who are you, and how did you get onto my program to start interrupting? As I'm sitting here talking about this apocalypse now, just another 2020.
It's whiskey from off track. And you know what? Look, I've got these magical buttons. I've figured out how to just go from one show to another and just interrupt now. So that might be a thing.
Well, I mean I tell you that's
it is 2020.
Well, see, you know what? It's interesting that you say that, because it's like I'm trying to remember, how did I give you I'm trying to figure out how in the world did I give you permission to do this? And I don't know, do you have an iPhone?
Yes.
Okay, so
but there was no permission necessary,
Well, see, this is the thing I did. Well, okay, so we upgraded to 14, thinking that there was going to be like this great blessing. Angels come down from heaven, and you're trying to figure out what's going on here, and all of a sudden, what was it? You had, there's this new feature on there that prompts you saying, hey. The guy says more privacy that they're working on, and they're saying, hey, listen, this thing wants to browse your network, and I'm like, what are you talking about browse? I'm like, no, you don't need to browse my network. Well, I didn't realize by turning that off for that app, I can't use my Wi-Fi anymore for those apps. So, browsing the internet, and while it's pretty cool that iOS shows that these apps, why do you need to sniff my network? Because you're trying to promote things, you're trying to scan the other things that are on my network so that you can get better ads. Dude.
I don't care anybody anymore.
Oh, you don't care anymore?
Oh, wait, there you are. I don't know what happened.
Oh, well, no. Did you hear about the whole idea that on the new iOS 14 app, it talked about the whole idea that it searches your network and pretty much just drops everything. It just scans your whole network with or without, if you give it permission now, you can say no, but there's no way of basically saying, well, just use the network without scanning my network.
Yeah. I'm not a huge tech guy, but I will say this. I don't believe any of these, quote, permissions on any of our phones are legit. I think it's to appease us because I think that I mean, who's going to know whether they are or are not really standing by the permissions we give them or do not give them?
True. Very true. I mean, think about this. For the longest time, we were under the impression by allowing something to use our Wi-Fi network, all it was doing was actually executing the function and the permission that was given. We had no idea that it was actually doing more than we anticipated it doing. So you're right. As an IT, I mean, I am an IT person, and it's really sad when you look at a lot of the programs that are out there that what it chooses to do. And you know what? I guess as you're sitting here talking, I guess it would be perfect for people to know exactly who's on the phone, and I can get like one of your mugs. So I'm gonna find that Fabio picture of you and see if that will actually work, so people can understand exactly who am I talking to on this.
That may have been the one when I had hair.
Oh, that when you had hair. Do you want me to use that picture, or do you? Yeah, well, this is a morning family program, so I probably need to use wisdom on whatever picture I use for you.
I don't usually wear pants on our programs, so be careful. I have socks on, though, if that counts.
You're wearing socks. Yes. See, the imagery, I still feel violated. 2020 has just been so traumatic for me.
We say 2020 is just 365 Mondays, I think, right?
Yes, 2020 is just 365 Mondays. Holy cow, I'm telling you, man, it has just been one of those crazy things as we're trying to make sense of this insanity called 2020. It just seems like it gets worse and worse, and when you think that it's going to calm down, just a reprieve. Just a small reprieve. Calm down. Just give me a break to breathe. I'm going to come back in this round. All of a sudden, something else happens. Like, here was one. I saw this earlier, and I'm like, really? Tropical Storm Beta. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Beta. Did we just go through the whole alphabet and we're starting from the beginning again? Because
I'm not liking the name of this because it almost sounds too close to Beto, and it is in Texas, so
yeah,
I'm not a fan.
Oh, that's a good. Go ahead, man.
we have had enough of the weather, and how long? I mean, look, I'm sure they've already started. I haven't caught up on much of this lately, but the whole climate change thing, they're going to hammer this. It's just one after another. It's called hurricane season. The weather was different yesterday than it is today. It changed. It's okay.
But that's climactic, though.
Well, sure, call it what you may.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's called climate change. And it is something that's making every last one of us fearful for the nature of what tomorrow may bring, when we know that the ice polar caps are melting and that there's extra water in the oceans and the ocean temperatures are rising and there's more gas emissions, and mostly from the Democrat Party. But either way, everything is just a nightmare. How do we survive in this thing called life?
Well, that's it. I think you just named it. It's life. And it doesn't matter where we are, where we live. We're going to have issues, whether it be climate, like the fires in California. I get a little uptight about this issue. I mean, the fires, whether it's started by a person or it's started by lightning, okay, sometimes it's going to happen, but they make it sound like it is the end of the world. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who suffer. People lose houses. People die. When lightning hits, it's natural. And nature has been around since God created it. And it's a way to, I would say, refresh, reboot the forest. They need it. They come back stronger. we just get in the way sometimes. But then all of a sudden they want to start complaining about a drought. Well, you have all these rains and floods. Can you not build some more reservoirs to contain the water that you don't have when you need it?
But that's actually you're talking about building a reservoir, which means digging up the earth, which is negatively affecting the world and the earth, and there's nothing you can do, and everything. No, that requires planning, and that means we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. Orange man bad.
Orange man evil.
Orange man evil. I mean, as you sit here and you watch this thing going through, taking place, you're getting frustrated. Like, hey, there's a lot of planning that's on here. And, I don't know, speaking of that, of the fires going on, I don't know if you've seen those memes where they're like, the forest fires are so smart that they only stay in the United States and they don't cross the border. And I was
I haven't seen that meme. It might give me an aneurysm if I saw that.
I mean, but it's like you're watching this. Yes, so no fires in Canada. Canada seems to be protected, and Mexico seems to be protected. It's just the United States. It's just the United States that's going through an apocalypse now situation where everything is just up in flames. So you're right. There's a lot of pre-planning that can, prepare yourself. Because here's one on that common sense that you just said here. Again, I'm not a structural engineer. I don't play one on TV. I don't even play one on Mojo 50 Radio. Speaking of, you say you're part of the Off Track team. When does your show preview if you are on this network, Mojo 50 Radio?
Yeah, we are on Sunday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. Wow, I have a awesome crew, and I really just show up for the party. Really, they do all the work. That's how it
goes. So you basically just sit back and you ride the coattails of their excellent talent. Talent.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, some people would even admit that, actually. We have a great time, though. We try to stay away from politics. I mean, I shouldn't say we stay away from them, but we don't. If they come up, we talk about it. But we try to keep it light and, gosh, dare I say, entertaining? Because, I don't know how entertaining we are.
Oh, but no, you guys have people in stitches as you sometimes break away from. Yeah, you know what? Politics sometimes can just be so unnerving. You sit here and you watch literally, what is the key thing dividing the country right now? Politics.
Politicians. And media.
And you sit here and you watch this thing going on, and it's like, guys, we have to do better. We have to do better here because no one is being healed in this process. No one is getting better. Speaking of healed, and I forgot to even talk about these guys, or this guy here. I don't know if you've heard of, this is some delicious stuff that I want you to consider, starting off your morning. You sound bright and perky today, just like you just had a good sleep. I don't know, but if you haven't considered using this, I want you to think about. That's it. I've hit the snooze button a dozen times, and now I have to finally get going. But I'm not going to do this day right if I don't start it off with a cup of American Pride Roasters coffee, the official coffee of Mojo 50 Radio. But I'm not going to lie to you. They have a wide variety of blends, but I'm leaning towards the one that's named after me, Watson's White Chocolate Caramel. You know what? It sounds as good as those words that just rolled off of my mouth. Listen, get it today. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Tell them that Watson from Battle4Freedom sent you, and you want Watson's White Chocolate Caramel Blend to start your day off. Join American Pride Roasters Coffee and Mojo 50 Radio, and most important, Battle4Freedom, as we celebrate the best coffee in the nation. American Pride Roasters. Okay, so you heard my cheesy commercial that my live read that I try and get people to understand and go and get. Now, I'm going to have to admit something, and I'm just going to be honest, and this is when, hopefully, when being real doesn't go wrong. you guys, you said that you have a talented crew. That's an understatement. The voiceovers and the commercials you guys put together are nothing but a stroke of genius.
This is actually one of the fun. It's more fun to me sometimes than the show itself. I have always wanted to do voiceover work, and Mojo 50 and the powers that be have given us free reign, honestly, to just come up with whatever we want for our sponsors. So there's always someone who's coming up with a new idea, and then Chris and Rusty, they're really good at writing out some scripts, and then they'll bring it in, and then we'll all get together and edit, and just we have a great time with it. So we love to do the voiceover work.
Oh, folks, listen, when you go to mojo50.com /schedule, and you decide to listen to any program, any show that's on the network there, what's really cool is in between the shows and in between, you'll hear these commercials that go through, but between the program starts and during the breaks, and you have to understand that the crew that comes on Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's some of those hilarious reads and commercials for the sponsors that we really appreciate supporting Mojo 50 Radio. You just listen to mine. It was like the dry eyes guy, it was like, Bueller, American Pride Roasters coffee.
You said it was cheesy. I didn't even know there was cheese in American Pride Roasters coffee.
Well, if
that's
DM
a new secret ingredient, Dave.
Well, you know what? If DM is putting cheese in there, we will find out, because maybe
like you're doing it wrong, Dave.
You're doing it exactly. You're doing it wrong, Dave. If you're putting cheese in American Pride Roasters coffee, we want breakfast blend, not breakfast in the blend.
It's the new breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa, we have the egg McMuffin, the egg McMuffin blend.
Sausage. Yes. Actually, maybe, Dave, can that be a thing? I can get my food and my drinks all at once.
Yes. It's like a blend, like literally a new blend.
I'd try it.
Oh,
I mean, look, whoever thought of putting peanut butter in coffee? It's good.
Yes.
Try it.
Yeah, even white chocolate and caramel in coffee.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, here was one of the ones that everybody's like, Watson, you guys gonna talk about anything? This is what their Sunday night show is like, okay? They just cover a wide variety of things, and they just have, because think about this. We're going to talk about some of the things that are in the news. We'll get there. Please be patient. But understand this. There are some times and there are some days it's just good to leave some of that stuff alone. You don't know how much it just affects your body, your spirit, when you're just tied up in all the drama. This past weekend, I had this really cool experience. My wife is from farm country. So we went up to visit the in-laws, and on Sunday on our way back, we decided to stop off at an auction. And so this is going to be like my second or third auction. I can't remember. And so this is the first time for my three girls to actually go into an auction. And I wanted to catch their expressions when they go in and they hear, and so my middle daughter, she looks like, he's talking weird. And she covered her face like, this is weird. And, we're thinking, Sean, I'm loving this. Okay. I don't know have you ever been to an auction?
I have. It's like country rap. I love it.
Yes. It's like country rap. And, and literally it is life at its simplest, but exciting at the same time for me. So here I am. I've got my camera gear that I use for the radio program, and I was like, I'm videotaping this. Like, I pulled out my phone and I started recording some of it because I'm like, this is so stinking cool. And
the anticipation of who gets to buy what is amazing.
Oh, because you have no idea who's going to get what, right?
Right, and to what price how high the bill will go. You know what? If I can speak, it would be great, because this is what I do. I don't ever speak correctly. How high the bid will go.
Yeah.
because it's like a fun stress, if you will.
Oh yes, exactly. But see, here's the crazy part about it is, so I went up front and I spoken to one of the auctioneers, and I said, "Hey, do you mind me like videotaping this?" He's like, "Go for it." So I set it up in the back, and here's this old guy. He might have been in the war, and he's like, "What are you doing back there?" I'm like, "I'm videotaping this." "Why are you videotaping this thing?" I'm like, "Because this is pretty cool." And he's like, "Rrr," and he just moves on his way. I'm like, "Okay," I'm like, "Whatever, Sean." Move on. And
Right.
then there was like this couple, and my middle daughter, she's sitting next to me, and they're like, she's a daddy girl. I'm like, yeah, someday she's a daddy girl, and someday she's like, leave me alone. And they just started laughing, like, yep, the life of a young lady. Just be prepared for that. And and then this other woman, who she comes up, older woman, and we just have this. She just has like this sweet disposition, like Aunt May, is it Aunt B?
Aunt B from Mayberry.
From Mayberry, and she just has like this sweet disposition. She comes over and we just start having this discussion, and as we're talking about this, Sean, she's like, "So what are you doing?" I'm like, "This is history for me." I said, not many people get a chance to do things like this, like not even participate, but just see and witness, to observe this. I said, I want to capture this because this is exciting for me. I'm like, I've been here for 25 years from New York, and it still excites me just to unplug. That's the reason why, like, when I think about you guys' show, when you have so much fun, is because you guys are just unplugging from the craziness, right?
I tell you what, when the last time you were on the show, it's like you said, someone unplugged you. No, I think someone plugged in some more outlets to Watson because he came alive, man. This guy's like, woohoo!
Oh my goodness!
That party.
Yeah, you did video that. There's no video of that existing, right? I did.
Yeah, actually, there is.
I did sign an NDA. I did sign an NDA. Please do not show anybody that. Oh my goodness!
I think Watson pumped himself up with 32 cups of American Pride Roasters, white chocolate coffee before he came on the show. He was swinging from the chandeliers. It was a great time. We're gonna have to do this again really soon. Actually.
Oh, most definitely. That was a whole lot of fun. I let me let my hair down.
Well, and you're talking about coming to where you live now from New York. Have you traveled like any further out west and got to see the rest of the country at all?
Oh no, not yet. I mean, I think the furthest west, not by plane. I mean, of course I've flown to California, flown through Arizona, flown through Denver, but actually driving. No, I want to do that. I think the furthest west I've gone out is I think I've gone to St. Louis,
which is pretty close to you, actually.
Which is only 4 hours away.
Relatively.
So yeah. So, and then I remember when back in 97, 98, I took a trip down to Texas where it was like through St. Louis, through Missouri and going south. But outside of that, like getting to Colorado, I hear that's beautiful. I mean, even taking trips to like Nebraska. I'll tell you something. We have 30 seconds before we go to break. I'll tell you the craziest thing. You know what? Actually, tell people quickly your show again one more time, please.
Off Track is Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Mojo 50. And of course, you can find us anywhere a podcast is found, and of course, Facebook, YouTube as well. So go check it out. And guys, it's a great time.
Folks, listen, we're going to go to a break. Are your energy bills getting out of hand and you want more control of your expenses? Consider Patriot Energy, a local veteran-owned solar company. You need honesty, integrity, and clarity. These markers are essential in the ever-growing solar industry. Call 602-721-6717 for a free quote. Tell them that Watson from Battle4Freedom sent you, and he's from Mojo 50 Radio. And that number again, 602-721-6717. Call Patriot Energy today. This election will be vital to the health and sustainability of our country. Our role from this day on could steer the election in either direction. Why? The way we treat one another. In John 13:35, Jesus says, "By this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." We know that every election cycle brings out the worst in us. If there was ever a point for honesty, it is in how we act during election season. As much as we would want our candidate to win, attacking a person with contrary opinions only makes them determined to reject our point of view all the more. It may come off as ignorant from them, but we cannot claim innocence if we allow arrogance and disrespect to be the means in which we communicate with those who support the other party or other candidates. Our goal was and will never be to convert voters. Our role is to give them the information needed prior to them casting their vote. It is their choice and right of what they do with that information. Understand, more people are aware of the political corruption and hypocrisy than they wish or want to admit. So there's nothing for us to prove. Choose to be people who invoke change rather than people who irritate and strain. Dale Carnegie once wrote, "A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still." In other words, give people the room to make their own mistakes. Without seeing that they were wrong, they would be blind to see what is right. Remember, every soldier present and gone have fought for the right of every American citizen to vote their own conscience. To insult and ridicule people for exercising their liberty to vote for their candidate is to also desecrate the efforts, memories, and sacrifices made by our heroes for said liberty. Please, show respect. Our nation depends on it. Welcome back, everyone. This is Watson Prunier from Battle4Freedom on Mojo5 Radio. My website, battle4freedom.com. I want you to go check that out. Click all the links. My YouTube links should be available for you to check all that stuff out. Subscribe if you can and have fun. I have Sean Scheeler with me from Off Track with Whiskey 6 that comes on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Sunday.
We haven't got that far yet.
Sunday. You
the
want to talk?
Monster Truck Rally.
Yeah, the Monster Truck Rally, where we crush your feelings.
Yeah.
You know what, Sean? It's so funny as I sit here and I look at just the wide variety of things that has pretty much just plagued our country, and just not slowing down. What in the world was I talking about before we went to break? Oh yeah, you're a great help. Oh yeah, so that producer side in you is coming out again, and
Wait, see, that's not my job. I just show up. Remember?
So you're basically telling me asking you to remind me what I was talking about is
Watson. Yeah, I have to ask my intern constantly, like after every subject, what's next? What do I talk about? What do I do? Tell me what to say.
Because I'm just like, I had like a really good thought, and then I was like, oh, that's a pretty commercial as we're waiting.
We were talking about traveling. I know that much, and going around the country.
There you go. Awesome, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
See, I had to ask my intern again. To remind you that
everyone rate Sean on his excellent rescue attempt on the story I'm about to share. So
crappy.
I don't know why, but I have this never-ending nightmare. So I'm going to turn 50 years old next March, okay? And I don't know why I'm plagued with this nightmare, but I can't drive over the Rocky Mountain. I don't know why. It's almost like I feel like going up the mountain and I see this never-ending curve and it just keeps climbing up into the clouds, and it's at like this high angle where I almost feel like I'm just going straight up a wall, and I feel like the moment I get to the top, my car is just going to fall over. There's no road on the other side. It's just plummeting to my death. And I am literally freaked out about actually ever driving over the Rocky Mountains because of the fact that since I was a child, I felt like I was careening into hell if I actually drove over the Rocky Mountains.
I would say this, at least to start out, take a drive through Denver, jump on Interstate 70, and head west. The interstate, look, the grade, I think legally cannot be any steeper than 7% on an interstate. So it's not that steep. But
7,000%?
No, 7.
Sorry.
Just no zeros.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But they call, when you get west of Denver, it's called the hanging highway. And it's obviously it's not hanging, but it's built into the sides of the mountains, and the Colorado River is down there, and just gorgeous. And the interstate weaves through the mountains. Once you get over the pass, it's not a big climb anymore, but it is gorgeous. The ski resorts are out there, and then Watson, there's so much of this country that a lot of people just don't know. They just don't even know it exists, and pictures do nothing. They do no justice at all. The experience is amazing.
Well, see, so maybe that's the problem there, because okay, so I have ventured by plane, but I haven't driven. So what you've described sounds amazing, and I look forward to doing that with the family. But the whole idea of hanging highway, whatever, that sounds like something that you guys talk about on your show. Please, this is a family show. Okay, so it's not a euphemism. Please, keep it clean.
That's not some sort of position or anything.
Please keep it clean. This is a family network. We're family, not family making network. Let's just try to keep it clean.
Wait, what? I didn't get that memo.
But one of the things. So yeah, I want to add something. It's true. So I visited friends who lived in Oregon. So I visited Portland, Oregon, which is up in flames right now. But where's the direction of where we are? I don't know where it is on the map, but one of my friends lived in Milwaukee, Oregon, which is just outside of Portland. And so it's spelled exactly like the Wisconsin Milwaukee, except this one actually has an IE instead of EE. And again, beautiful country, dude. I mean, mountains, was it her dad was this biggest clown. We went to Mount Hood, and, so I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, so you mean city boy. I'm like, oh, I love this. This is beautiful. Well, he pulls up and there's like this picturesque. I mean, so this is something you've probably you see like every day, but he pulls up to this area and there's like this little stream of water coming out of a rock. And I was like, man, oh, that looks so picturesque. I'm like, that looks like something right out of a scene of heaven. And he's like, hey, you want to go check it out? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, please. So he parks the car. I walk over to the stream and I put my hand in it. It's like ice cold. I was like, oh, I'm getting chills. I'm like, ee, like the pig going down the thing. Wee. so I'm kind of
a stream. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. That's how pathetic my life was. A little stream, a trickle of water in a mountain, side of a mountain made my year. So he was like, go ahead and drink it. I was like, are you serious? I can do that? And so I stick my hand in and it's ice cold and I cup the water and I drink it. And I was like, wow, that was so cool. And he waits a few minutes and he's like, I probably shouldn't have told you to do that. I'm like, why? He's like, well, possum further up the mountain pee in the water. And you probably drink possum pee. I looked at him like,
why'd you have to tell me?
I'm like, why'd you have to tell me that?
Yeah.
So
nature happens.
Yeah, nature happens. Yeah, exactly. There's just some of those things you just don't need to know. Leave that stuff out of it. So, for me, it's hilarious because that wasn't like the only one too. Because as we're driving around Mount Hood, of course, you don't have guardrails around everything. So, so I'm in the passenger seat and he is riding that edge really close. I'm like, and all I see in my mind, the car going over the cliff.
Well, of course.
Bouncing. I mean, literally. I mean, because it's like,
right.
I'm like, we're going to go up in ashes because this guy wants to play with my life. I mean, like, I'm too young to die, please.
I think Watson likes action movies because that's where he's getting his references. Yes. I love action movies. Yeah, because you see, like you said, there are mountains out there that have no guardrails, like you say. And look, there, as the example, Mount Lemmon in Arizona, it's 27 miles to the top. There's a van down by the river, if you will.
Down by the riverside.
Yeah.
Down by the. I'm sorry, I apologize. Sorry, I apologize. That just came out of nowhere.
Watson. Don't sing.
Don't sing.
That's for Timmy. Yeah, I still appreciate that. But anyway, no, there's this van that went off the edge, and it is way down there. And you think, I wonder if they went down and got the bodies out. I mean, because I'm not walking down there.
Yeah.
It's a little morbid, but yeah.
Oh my god.
Got to be careful.
But here it is. I mean, think about this. With every craziness that's going on in the country right now, I talked about the storm. We have, what is it? I really don't want to talk about the other stuff. I can save that I can push it till tomorrow. We can leave all that drama alone. If there was one on the whole idea of the what do you think of the play? We talked about this before the program. Was the idea of the Republicans basically announcing their play? We know that this is very contentious right now. The whole idea of electing, nominating a Supreme Court justice and voting. So we've seen the anger, the frustration that we're watching in the country right now. Do you think it was wise for Graham to basically say the president has all his votes, or
no?
Just explain why. Because I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. Why do you think it was not wise for Lindsey Graham to basically say, "Hey, we got all the votes"?
They're playing their cards, but you know what? Okay, so they're playing their cards. If I tell somebody that we've got enough votes, well, the other side's going to go, we need to get our butt in gear and take care of this. But if, say, Lindsey Graham is a little more relaxed and doesn't say much, well, maybe the other side will be relaxed and not try as hard.
Yeah. I mean, because
they won't step up to the plate. Because
if you announce which votes you have, do you remember? It was with Kavanaugh, right? Where it showed not Barbara Boxer, Dianne Feinstein confronting one Murkowski, and like in Murkowski's face, and it's like, why are you in her face? Leave her alone. Let her make whatever decisions that she wants. You've now put a target on all the people who are going to be voting yay for whichever judge they select. And it's like,
it puts them under pressure.
It puts them under pressure. And this is the reason why, because one thing I also thought that they should do in light of the moment that Ginsburg died, and then the moment you started seeing the threats, I'm sure you've seen the threats that have been made, by the left and by wackos out there. I said they should add more security detail to the existing Supreme Court nominees, especially the conservative ones, because someone's going to be dumb enough to try and kill one of them because they want to put everything back in their favor of making certain that the liberal court has the popular vote and chance to ruin this country. So I'm not thinking this is going to go well.
I wouldn't put anything past. I don't want to say that. I don't want to put a blanket on everyone, but some Democrats, holy smokes! I won't mention the Clintons' name.
We would never talk about Bill and Hillary.
No, I wouldn't do that. But they would literally. It seems as though they would do anything I mean, look, does it not look like people have died? Well, no, people have died. We don't know how exactly or why, but it really seems that there's some guilty parties out there.
There's actually there's a medical term for people who actually have the ability to commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head twice.
Is it called Clinton?
Yes, Clintonitis.
Okay, Clintonitis. That's what it is.
Yeah. Clinton. Yeah. There's. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Ooh, wow. I almost said a term. I almost made up a term that would have cost me $25.
Wow. Well, you would have been daring.
Yes. What? I mean, I'm like, Beth would have been like, I don't know what that word was, but you're giving me $25 on that because that word just did not sound right. I would have been better off you saying the other word that you shouldn't have said instead of that word.
Right.
Oh my goodness! But no,
Go ahead,
man.
The look, every time the Supreme Court justice slot comes available, it's like, once again, they've erased or completely forgotten history, because the prior time that it come open, depending on which side, is trying to get their, okay, so now it's just the shoe's on the other foot every other time, right? Yeah. But they don't want to remember the last time. They just act like this is the end of the world. This is a new thing. How dare you not let me get enough votes in, or, oh, my feelings are hurt. But the last time, well, it was a complete opposite argument for each side. It's politics.
Yeah.
And everyone's getting butthurt. All it does is completely divide the country, like every other thing in politics and the media. It's disgusting. And yet we, as Americans, we just keep feeding into it. And this is honestly why, this is the reason we do the show we do on Off Track, because we need a break. The world, the United States of America, needs a break from politics.
Yes.
Decrease the stress. Take a break. Have some American Pride Roasters coffee, for God's sakes, and relax.
You know what? Okay, so now I'm about to play another one of our sponsors. That's Cat Coolers. And as we're done, I want you to think, as I'm in the process of sharing this and playing this, I want you to think of half the places that we can tell American citizens that they need to visit, because you're talking about traveling west. Denver, it started getting picturesque. I felt myself sailing, take me away. But again, I sung again. Even though you told me not to sing, I'm sorry. This is my program. I'll sing it. This is my program. I'll sing if I want to sing.
Can I get your greatest hits after this?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Perfect.
You got what I need when you say.
Oh, Bismarcky, what's up?
When the world is going to hell in the handbasket, you need rugged. You need strong. You need durable. You need Cat Coolers. These are the best coolers on the market in 27, 55, and 88 quart. Go to catcoolers.com and give them the code Watson to save 10% on your purchase. Don't settle for those substandard containers that melt, leak, and destroy your memorable moments. Tell them that Watson from Battle4Freedom sent you. Cat Coolers. Cat Coolers. Yeah. I mean, well, you know what? Who was it? Mike Phillip. You know how he does his songs on Fridays. And he just does like the amazing jukebox. And I text him like 2 hours before the show. I'm like, dude, if you're not playing ABBA and Kenny G, I'm gonna tell everybody you're Joe Biden's secret lover. Because
and he said what?
He's like, sure, I'll do it for you. No, that's actually more Irish and Canadian. Let's see if I can do this.
Oh my goodness!
Hold on a second. You got to get into the
What was that? Holy why? Hey, we're gonna go over and We're gonna get us a nasty pasty, pard.
See, now that's much better. Mike Phillip, you have to channel Mike Phillip, because he's just like when he first started, I was like, he reminds me of someone, and I was thinking initially Mark Dice. But I was like, no, it's not Mark Dice. It's something else. It's just something else. But what he just gets, he gets moving. You're like, man, there's like this energy. I'm like, I feel like Mel Gibson for Braveheart, when I'm listening to Mike Phillip, like it's just one of those speeches that's going to move me to just run out and just sacrifice myself, for country and for freedom. Maybe I'll paint my face blue next time I finally decide to channel my Mike Phillip. But so cat coolers, you have 7 days to travel. You're telling someone, okay, from Indiana. So Indiana, coming from Indiana, if I'm correct, Colorado's 20 hours away by car. Where do people go? If I'm going through Colorado, where else do I want to go visit as I'm doing this thing here?
I would say you want to go from Denver, go southwest. And yes, I'm biased. I love the Southwest, especially Arizona. I lived there a total of 8.5 years and never got to see everything there is to see and do in Arizona. It's amazingly beautiful. And like you can still, when you get into southern Arizona, you still feel like you're in the Old West. I mean, it's a movie. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a documentary, right? Tombstone, the movie?
Yes. Okay.
It's a documentary. Absolutely. The town of Tombstone was about an hour from where I lived in a small town of Vail, Arizona. You can go there. It's commercialized, but you get to walk around and think, these events actually happen. The Wyatt Earp, the OK Corral, you get to stand on history.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Right? You know what? Doc Holliday in that movie, when they're in the saloon and I can't remember the other character's name, but he mocks him with his cup. That is just amazing. Oh, that is classic.
Yeah. Val Kilmer was great. Kilmer was great in that. Oh my goodness, there's so many great memes from that. It's interesting because I had gone to San Antonio and I went to the holy cow. Are you kidding me?
The Alamo.
The Alamo. Thank you. I was going to say the OK Corral. I'm like, OK Corral, you're in the wrong place. Come on, dude.
The OK Alamo.
Yeah, the OK. No. Yeah, the OK Alamo. It wasn't okay. It didn't go well at the Alamo.
No,
it was pretty bad.
It didn't go so hot.
Actually, wasn't Val Kilmer also in the movie The Alamo as well too? Yes, he was.
You got me. I don't recall.
I think he was. You've got to get. I'm trying to remember if it was him. Oh, no, it was a different character. But still, his role as Doc Hollywood was pretty insane. But oh, my goodness. No, you're right. Getting a chance, it's so weird that when I hear the places that you mentioned, like, okay, now granted, I visited the Grand Canyon, and that still overwhelms me.
I haven't even been to the Grand Canyon yet.
Come on, you got to be kidding me.
No, that's my point. I lived out there so long, and I never got a chance to go there. Well, okay, I shouldn't say didn't have a chance, but no, I never made it. But I travel. I travel for work, so I'm literally all over.
Okay.
And I try to just run Southwest.
Okay.
Southern California, Arizona. I run a lot of Texas. I love it. It's beautiful. Oklahoma's gorgeous.
Very cool. Very cool. And you know what? Honestly, I want a lot of people to consider that when you think of these places and going there. Okay, so I'm not going to condemn you for not going to the Grand Canyon because I lived in New York and there were still a bunch of things. I lived in New York for almost 25 years and I had never seen the play Cats until I came here to Indiana.
Well, I haven't either, to be fair. So there. We're good.
But I'm just like, you could have seen it in New York. You wait till you get to Indiana to go see Cats, and like,
did it feel as iconic?
It was no, it was. I think it was at the New York Theater. It was a great experience. I think we even saw Riverdance here. I so love Riverdance. Hey, don't hate, okay? Riverdance is still cool. They need to come back because they were sticking awesome. But no, it was something. It's something unique, I guess, in the different places that you're talking about going off and experiencing those areas around the country, because of the fact that it takes you in. If you do it the right way, you bring yourself into the historical moment and you appreciate it. Like the Alamo. Well, you're sitting here and you're checking this out, and it's like, holy cow. This is not as big as I thought it was. Like when you watch it in the movies, it seems so much bigger. Everything seems just, but to get there and then be in the moment, it just blows your mind. Like, especially like when I was riding the Empire State Building, getting the elevator up to the, dude, I was scared halfway to death because I'm like, isn't this elevator like 150 years old? And, I'm thinking, and again, my imagination, like, yeah, this is the time when the cord is going to finally snap on the elevator and I'm going to careen to my death.
Yeah. You're talking skyscrapers. I was just talking to a very special friend of mine. We'll call her Bobby, because her name's Bobby. She's talking about going up to the Sears Tower. I guess it's called the Willis Tower up in Chicago now, and they have this glass platform you can stand on outside.
Yeah.
And yes, I want to go do that.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I'm not afraid of heights at all, actually, but like jumping out of a plane, skydiving. I'd love to do it. It's just the fear of that chute not opening.
Yes, exactly.
But I told her, I said, if you're going to go skydiving, she wants to do that too. I said, if you're going to do that, you go as high as you can, because what's the difference?
Exactly. I'm like, hey, oh wait, SpaceX is going up. Hey, can you just kind of like let me off at about 80,000? I've got a parachute.
Oh, I'm game.
Just like, I'll kick off. I'll hold to the side and I'll kick off when I'm high enough, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Right. I want to go wingsuiting. Or have you seen the guys in the jetpack over Dubai?
Oh my dude! Wait! Wing shooting, is that the one where they go down like the side of like a dam, and they like their outfits like webbed, and they do that?
Yeah, they look like flying squirrels. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, they do this out of planes too.
Oh.
How awesome,
dude!
To fly, that's my dream.
I you know what? Okay, understand this. I would love to fly. I think it's fascinating. I have dreams of flying, like superpowers to fly and everything like that. But what you just meant with the wing thingamajigabob, again, my crazy imagination is just thinking about, I don't know if it's maybe too many episodes of, the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
Yes.
Because I just see everything ending up like that, like splat. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and trust me, I love to fly.
Yeah, the other one though, it's not a suit. It's like they literally attach a fixed. It's a hard shelled, probably carbon fiber or something, a wing, and they put jet engines on this. But yet you strap it to yourself. Your body is like the fuselage, and then you have a wing attached to you with jet engines.
Okay, you
and they're flying.
You had me at fuselage. I'm done. What goes first?
No,
in every movie, what goes first? The fuselage, right? In every movie, dude, I'm done.
Oh, my airframe can't take the abuse. I'd be up here doing barrel rolls and all kinds of things, man. You got to check. I'll have to send you this link to the video of these guys flying around Dubai. It's amazing.
Okay.
No matter the fear, it's just the thrill.
Well, listen, brother, it was a thrill having you on. We're about 30 seconds from shutting this down. I need you to tell everybody where to find you again, please.
Okay, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, every Sunday evening, right here on Mojo 50 Radio. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, the iHeartRadio, and anywhere you can find a podcast. Go check us out. It's called Off Track. Go get some.
Definitely.
Thank
folks,
you, Watson.
You got it, Sean. Thank you for being with us. Listen, folks, Brad Staggs and Daily Mojo's up next early in the morning, or is patriotically correct. Check out Mojo 50 Radio. We appreciate you, and we love you. We're out.